Wow, we're in a mountain valley with the Colorado River on one side, and it's not the Grand Canyon, but it's a pretty big canyon. Sure great to be here. We had a great time at Arches Park, but the weather wasn't with us, so we decided to go down along the Colorado River. We went on Highway 128 for a drive down the river. We were looking for vistas to photograph, and we found some. It was amazing driving with the canyon on one side and the river on the other side. This is a Colorado River where people go whitewater rafting. There's our van parked up by the side of the road. We're just blasting along. It's a beautiful day. Here you can see some of the fog in the background. We decided to pull up here and take a photograph. There were lots of photographs to be had. There the river's on the right-hand side and the rock wall is on the left. It's just amazing to be here. Look at that river. Wow, it's huge. And we're driving down the road again. Well, we had a couple of great days in Arches Park. Now we're headed to Canyonlands. It's only about 30 kilometers down the road. Really looking forward to being here again. Arches Park was fantastic. I was out to the Delicate Arch, got some sunset pictures there. I'd still like to get out for star trails at night. We'll see if that's going to happen. Driving to Canyonlands now. Now we're headed to Canyonlands. We're going to drive into Canyonlands Park, see where we can have a campsite there. There's no fee for anything right now because it's still winter. Beautiful. Wow, what a view in the distance. That's the Monitor and the Merrimack from a distance. From here you have an excellent view of the Monitor and Merrimack Buttes to the northeast. These prominent landforms tower 600 feet above the Navajo sandstone base. They can be seen from many points as you travel along the highway. The Monitor and Merrimack Buttes were named after the Civil War ironclad ships of the same names. If you look at a likeness of the old ships, their shapes bear a striking resemblance to these two buttes. The Merrimack, the large rock on your left, was the Confederate ship called the Virginia by the Southern forces. The Monitor on the right was the Union ship sent to destroy Merrimack. That's what they mean by open range. You're sharing the road with some little beasties. Range action here. Yeah, we're just taking it easy by the cows.
How pregnant she is.
Now this is called Gemini Bridges Road, which makes me think there's two bridges. I'm thinking two natural bridges, but I'm not sure how far I want to drive down here. I'm not liking these roads at all. And CAA will not tow you off a dirt road, so we're going to get out of here as soon as possible. We're in Canyonlands Park. We're headed for Grandview Point. The weather might be clearing off. Look at the fog and mist blowing across. To the right-hand side, it looks clear. I'm hoping that we'll get a nice sunny break. Just can't count on the weather when you're in the mountains. When I complain about driving the van on these roads, imagine if you had one of those big campers. Well, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. We're just waking up and thawing the van out. We had a nice breakfast at our campsite. Everything was frozen. You can see the windshield, how frozen up that was. We were all frozen. We're driving along in Canyonlands Park. We're looking for vistas, and they're there to be seen. I'm shooting a 3-exposure bracketed set so that we can HDR the images. I use aperture priority, 200 ISO, and I shoot one stop up, one on money, and one down. And we combine them into HDR afterwards. It's as simple as that. Beautiful views. Cruising down the highway again. There's a lot of driving. These parks are far apart, and a lot of driving even inside the park. Here's a couple of ravens looking over the view. We saw a little bit of wildlife, not very much. Wow, we're coming up on Wilson Arch. There's an arch just to the left off the highway, right over that big truck we're passing there. Well, we're entering Needles Overlook. We'll see what's going on here. I've heard good things about this, but we'll see how bad the road is. 22 miles to Needles Overlook. And this, if it's a dirt road, well, then we're going to forget about it. Wow, now we're sharing the road with horses. How about that? Wild horses. Here we are at Newspaper Rock. There's some carvings on the rock. I'm going to go over and take a little look at them. Well, now this is the little bit of a walk up to Newspaper Rock. Archaeological site. It's a petroglyph. Sort of a DIY picnic table right here. And there's the petroglyphs on the rocks. All the different animals, different pictographs and hieroglyphics, I guess, that the natives used to make. And of course, some people have had to crawl in there and deface them. We're driving along towards Canyonlands. Once again, we're on open range. Cattle have been grazing here since the 1800s. First grazed here by cattle barons and later by Mormon settlers. It's quite a tradition. It's requested to be careful going through here and not to camp out next to any corrals, and if you open a gate, make sure you close it. And of course, don't drive over the animals that are on the road. Canyonlands certainly is magnificent. It's different than Arches Park, but it's certainly wonderful just the same. Lots of cottonwood trees. Now we're in Canyonlands South. We're having a great time of it. Driving along, looking for a place to camp out, looking for photographs to take. We're just having a wonderful time of it. It's good to be here and not in Ontario in the winter. It's a nice change for us. Look at the mountains in the distance. You can see the snow-capped mountains off in the distance as the trees just blast by close beside us. Here the van is parked up. This is our campsite that we found. $5 a night to camp on BLM land. We're sharing the range with some steers that wander around in the campsites. Beautiful turret mountains and everything like that. Buttes off in the distance. Gnarly old trees. I'm going to shoot some stars tonight again. Those are the cottonwood trees, I believe, all around the buttes. Nice red rock again. Sunset in our campground, and it's starting to cool off. And when I mean cool off, it's getting cold. We're going to have the heater on. We're staying another night here, and we'll have the heater on again tonight. No sense freezing to death. The heater sure fogs up the windows and freezes things up. There's my star picture from last night. Maybe I'll get some more tonight, I don't know. Come on back and visit us again on Bella's Vistas. Please like and subscribe.